no one is a value-added tax, a national sales tax on pretty much anything you buy, pretty much anywhere you buy it. Democratic Senator Kent Conrad proposing it. The White House quick to say it is not endorsing it now, but it is not ruling it out later. Not when the country will be looking at a multi-trillion-dollar deficit, and not when merely hitting up the rich will cover it. To the Cato Institute's Chris Edwards on why they're even thinking about it. Chris, and we knew, I guess, this kind of moment was coming. I didn't think they'd attach a name to it so soon.
That's right. Hi, Neil. Yeah, this idea of a value-added tax, sort of like a national sales tax, has been kicking around Washington amongst liberal economists for years. Most other industrial countries have a big national VAT or sales tax on top of their income tax systems. And people say, well, United States needs one because everyone else has one. But here's a case where United States is unique, and rightly so. You know, they're talking about a 10 or 20% value-added tax, which means every time you go to the store, the jug of milk or the new coffee machine will cost you 20–25% more on everything you buy.
Well, we should look at that. I mean, if you're looking at eggs at $1.77 with the tax at 25%, which seems to be another more accepted figure for a VAT tax, it would go up to $2.21. Milk would go up to an average of $3.85. Moving down the line to you know, hard vehicles or hardware, a washer would go from $4.75 to roughly $5.95.
Right.
A refrigerator.
Here's the thing, Neil.
In other words, the higher and the more expensive the item, the tax on it, especially with a car, it gets to be huge.
Absolutely, and everything, you know, think about in Europe, you go to the store to buy the coffee machine. Let's say the price of the coffee machine is $100 or 100 euros. What's really going on is that the coffee machine only really costs $80, but the government has a hidden tax of 25% on top of that. And that's what makes the VAT so dangerous. It is buried in the price of a product. It is not visible to consumers, and thus it's not visible to voters. So in Europe, the average VAT rate is an enormous 20%.
But it starts low, and the issue is then it goes higher. Now, to be fair, we did try to reach Senator Conrad. He declined, but his office did explain that part of the swap for considering a tax like this would be to lower the top corporate tax rate, but he is still considering maybe hiking the top personal income tax rate even beyond the 39.6% rate that's being proposed for 2011. Where is all of this going, Chris?
I think that there's going to be a massive battle for taxation ahead, the likes of which we have never seen. We cannot sustain trillion-dollar deficits in this country for you know, in perpetuity. Something's got to happen here. So you know, everyone who likes America to have a bit of a smaller government than Europe needs to gird themselves for a big fight here. I think liberals are trying to think of some way to sneak in a big tax hike, and so they're kind of throwing everything onto the wall and see what sticks. I don't think we need a VAT in this country. We're overtaxed already, but this is the big battle ahead.
All right, we're watching it. Chris, thank you very much.
Thank you, Neil.
Now, we could not find not one Democrat willing to come on this program and support the idea yet. We didn't find one Democrat publicly attacking it either. Kate Obenshain is not surprised. She is with the Young America's Foundation. So, Kate, they're not dismissing it out of hand, maybe because they're reading these multi-trillion-dollar deficits down the road. But what do you read into just that?
Well, it's a devastating proposal to be out there in front of. And what they're talking about behind the scenes right now, Democrats, is how to get this over on the public without them really realizing that they're massively increasing our taxes. You know, you look at Obama's promises to cut taxes on 95% of Americans, not to raise taxes on anybody making under $200,000. That's already out the window with the cap and tax proposal, with cigarette taxes going up, with all sorts of taxes that are on the table right now. To get out there in front and say we're talking about a 25% tax on all goods and services, that would obviously be devastating. And it also plays into this perception that Obama is following every European model that he can figure out, and this is exactly what that would do. This would, all the European countries have, the European socialist countries in particular, have value-added taxes, and this is just modeling ourselves after what's going on in Europe. And we should stress, Kate, that they not only have these value-added taxes, they also have very high, and in some cases, onerous tax rates on income. So
Is
Right,
the
they do,
direction
and
the world's going in as they pile up these massive deficits, not only here but everywhere, that everyone's
Right.
going to have to pay? It won't be just the rich. It can't be mathematically just the rich.
Right. Well, the problem is what we're looking at right now is a massive expansion of government services through government health care, radical changes to our energy and education policy that Obama's talking about. And at some point, something's got to give. You cannot continue to expand the size and scope of government at this rate and be able to provide for it. Even if you increase taxes on corporations and affluent individuals, at some point the pot begins to decrease. You look at what's happened in California. Don't look at socialist countries. Look at California. They've massively increased government spending, services that they provide, and they are driving corporations and individuals out of the state. We have an office in California. My office does. We have a ranch and an office there. We do anything we can not to hire individuals in California because their taxes are prohibitive. That's what we're looking about. As was just said a minute ago, it is not sustainable. There's a shift towards a dependence on government as opposed to a vibrant private sector, and it's not going to get any better. And it's not as though you can keep raising taxes and just keep expanding government services.
Oh, really?
That pull begins to decrease.
Well,
You
Kate,
can't do it. And
I had to break it to you, but the shift has hit the fan.
It's not going to work, though.
Kate, thank you very much.